Ye man, grand rise unto the ancient brethren, ancient souls, even for those who are still sleeping upon them graves. Grand rise and sunshine upon you all, man. Now we give thanks and praise, for everything that is good. Sibulele kumdali. Ngokwamagama wonke inhlanga ngenhlanga ezimbona ngayo. Yeah, sizawudwela in a simplest form. Today ndinento endifuna ukuthi ndikhe ndiyishare nee-artists. If you are an artist out there, there is a secret towards your art, but ke uhlobo endizayiza ngalo ndizatrya ukuyisimplifya as much as I can, but to a way apho uzawufawundi into nokubana izawunida nawe u-engage ngokweyakho i-overstanding. So apha kum kwizicrolls zam ezingcwele dinento ekuthiwa yi-7 surrealism principles for all those who would like to do surrealism out there. The 7 surrealism principles based on or in relation with the cosmic mind as a body, Yeah. So what do I mean when I said in relation, to the cosmic mind as a body? What I'm saying is that everything in creation corresponds with what is already there. So if usabisebenzisa i-second law of i-7 cosmic principles or 7 chematic cosmic principles, sibese sithi as above so is below. Sorry. Kulapho sabe sidefine this word in a deepest level or the concept in a deepest level. So creation, according to its 7 cosmic laws, is based upon the 7 principles of creation, So according to me, I have found the simplest way to simplify certain principles which I know they will always guide the creative side of your mental faculties. So if we can go unto the mind, because what I don't want to try to do here, I don't want to preach another concept while I'm talking about another concept. I want to stick up on this thing, but if you don't understand what I'm talking about, please check out the 7 cosmic principles or the 7 chematic principles, but even though they will give you a brief azizukunceda to the fullest, but we understand the way, but they will give you a way to understand it, especially if you're an artist. This thing as I'm explaining, you will grasp it. Also if ungumntu open-minded, sentsho uba bakhona abantu intloko yabo ithatha kade, sometimes the teaching would not benefit other people, would only benefit certain people, So let us begin. So I have divided this thing into 777, 777. Others, they said 77 is an 777 is an angelic number, or there's a divine mystery in between that thing. People who deal with that thing, they know. Maybe they will even see broader from what I am teaching here. But any craft that you are doing, you either doing herbs, you either doing painting, you either, as long it is a craft, which its creativity depends totally upon you as a being that was created by the creator of life. Yes, this thing also will help you. So masiqale sithi ke ngoku imind irrelevant to a cosmos. Masingayiqali kwimind, masiyiqale in a clear distinct form. Sithi Trinity. There is a cosmic body or the cosmic mind which created everything that we know as a body or as a whole. Just it as a body, we mean as a whole. Then within what was created, there are individual certain pieces of this same aspect within that body which plays a different part. For example, In my body, if it was created, there are cells within me. Those cells, they play a certain part. So each individual cell got its own conscious level and its own conscious mind. This is what we talk about when we said from the cosmic body or cosmic mind to the intellectual mind. This is the second aspect. The cosmic mind is the first kule trinity. Andifuna uthetha nge-religion ithi Father, Holy Spirit, okanye maske si-approache ngala ndlela sibone uba mhlawumbi ndingakwazi uyitsho. Ndingathi if mhlawumbi a-cosmic mind, I will call it the Father, the all creator of all things. And the cosmic intellectual is the cosmic sun, you know. This sun, it's more like the spirit that is within all bodies that has the same potential unto every being that lives and exists. The same spirit. Then there is this spiritual surrealism, meaning now the third side, we can call it the Holy Ghost when it is reflected, the spirit of the intellectual within the artist, when it manifests itself and draw things that people can perceive and all that stuff and can relate and express their emotions. So this is the spiritual surrealism side. This is the Trinity. First, the cosmic mind or the intellect. Second, the intellectual mind, you as an individual. Third, the spiritual surrealism side, which is the inner side of that individual when it is expressed unto the outer side, where everybody can perceive which are other minds. These are three faculties of this same artist mind. As an artist, you must possess these three faculty points. Maybe the sphere of surrealism, to you, you might not be doing surrealism, so it will change to the sphere of whatever craft you do. If it is a craft that comes through the inspiration of the mind or through the inspiration of events that are taking place within the space that you are in, or the events that are being recorded by those who can reach far places, meaning in news and all that stuff, from TVs, from radios, from newspapers, or events which also can be collected in small studios, which will be like more like magazines, newspapers, and all that stuff, you know. Yes. So this is a real side. It benefits to me, or it only relates to me because I do surrealism. But if you are not doing surrealism, it will be a graphic side or a writing side or a musical and a lyric side. But I will show it in my own way of understanding it according to how I found it, and I design this thing because I found it from many different wisdom of other traditions, but I try it to make one thing which my spirit alone can understand and perceive it, and I will use it in a mechanical way to produce an infinite way of creativity, which will allow all artists to experience their deeper cause of their art energy and their supreme creative mind, which is connected with the cosmos and all that stuff. Because we know each individual, as he is living, he is more like the interplaying of these cosmic forces through emotions and thoughts and feelings and moving around. We will go deeper to that thing. That is another subject for another time. So when we go to this thing, siyafound ukuthi in the cosmos mind alone now, we found the 7 principles which I gave or put in order because they make it clear to me the steps of creation, how things came into being. The people who will understand this knowledge deeper are people who do the ancient knowledge of the tribal people, who respect the spirituality of the craft, and who always approach the creator in terms of creation as a whole, not in terms of religion and what another man find and write it down for you, but according to you, how you find in relation with all other beings that live around in your space. So in the cosmos body, according to certain mystical scriptures, but let me give you a easy script which everybody can capture and understand. There is a script known by the Kabbalah mysteries. In the Kabbalah mysteries, they talk about these 7 principles of creation. But me now, I use these 7 principles of creation as the 7 principles of creation based upon the cosmic mind in surrealism. You know, sorry about that. So, according to the cosmic mind in the Kabbalistic system, yabo, I have digged deeper and find it in a simplest way of trying to show how creation came into being, but in a Kabbalistic way of life. Why siza approach iKabhala ngicela study deeper so that ukwazi understand ukuthi iKabhala information yabantu abamnyama but ethe xa ikwazi ukuhamba yofikelela kwezinye inhlanga yaze yabuya icaciswe ngokohlobo abaqonda ngalo. So let us indulge. Okay, sithi in the Kabbalistic way of creation, a creator is what manifested everything that is in creation. And then when we observe ukuthi iKabbalah also agree with this thing that we talk about, that the creator creates without hands. How he created things through mental, you know, within the mind of the creator. That is where the cosmos is created. And the cosmos as a living body, it got its own mind, its own consciousness and its own cells and organelles. It's living. And us as beings exist in the vision or in the dream that has been dreamt by the cosmic mind. So we start there. The cosmic mind, he who is unmanifested in the physical form but got its semblance visible in the physical creation. In ancient Kemetic, that aspect was called Atum, the one who is invisible, but he caused all things to exist. As the ancient find, they find which no, Atum and the word atom, it's one and the same thing. Because in creation, everything is built of atoms, regardless it's water, plastic, or vat. So atom is the only one that creates all things in creation. But within atom, there is the energy of Ra, which rise things and bring them into creation. You know? Yes. And so we observe Guti in the cosmic body. There is a mental faculty cosmos before the creation came into existence, which we called it an abyss. The abyss, it's a space where all things before they come into creation, they exist. Others, they said it's a space of potentiality, but in ancient Kemet it was called the waters of Nun, where everything that will be made in creation is there. But on its own, it's not aware of itself because it is a part of the whole. It will be given its individual consciousness after the process of creation has taken place. This is called the abyss, the dark waters of creation, the noon, where everything is at as one. In the Kemetic tree of life, this aspect is called Atum, the hidden one, or the Amen, he who is invisible, but we can see him through his expression in creation. This is the energy of the Creator playing its part for me and you, not to even trying to argue if the Creator is there. That's why the Son is there, for me and you to know there is one who rules. So in this abyss, everything got a potential to become. This abyss is in the highest realms of creation in the cosmos. There is no stars, no suns during this period. Now, if we go above after creation has been complete in the world of man, because what is above, it's the reflection of what is below. The potential atom consciousness which created the cosmos will also create the world of man, but through the bodies of men, using them as a Wi-Fi now in the matrix. That is why you find spirits hijacking bodies and called demonic possessions. We are having a certain Wi-Fi within ourselves, even no matter we don't see. So, in the lower realms, the atom also is there, but exists its potential within the minds of men. The minds of man is the reflection of the galactic spaces. It is one with it because that is where everything that man puts in this creation he created via his own mental faculties. Through imagination. Without imagination, there is no creation. Regardless, there will be skills needed here in this physical plane to manifest that thing. Even if we have the skills, if the idea is not there, the skills are as useless as anything else that has never manifested. So, in the world of man, the atom, the abyss, exist in the highest realms of man, which are his mental faculties. The mind is the abyss, the empty, hollow space that is dark, where ideas manifest and disappear. This is where he who perceives the world within is there and also watching the ideas that manifest. The one is been called in ancient time the self, the indweller, and is called in the Christian realms the spirit of the Most High which dwells within the temple of man. Your bodies are the temple of the spirit of the Most High to manifest in this physical plane. So, these bodies within the faculties of this highest place within the body as a whole, because the cosmos also as a whole got its own mind, whereas we have our own being, and within that we are the cells and a part as individual within that mind that created that thing, like granules the sand to make the sand of the ocean in the whole aspect of creation, which will be expressed by the whole unity of creation. But now those sands, they got their own consciousness levels, which are us. We got our own. But also we are the reflection of the same energy that created everything. We have the same potential to reflect that energy. Now it comes into the mental faculties. Okuti, the mentality is the highest realms of creation. The mentality, it's where everything begins for the world of man in order to be given birth in this physical plane. So man would never create without his mind. You see? So this is the first level of, or the first aspect of creation within the mental faculties of the universe, the abyss, the empty space of the cosmos, where stars and suns and planets and millions of universes and billions of other beings will be expressed. It's more like the empty space of the body where things will be expressed. That thing within us, it reflects that capable energy or aspect of doing that creation is expressed within the mind. You see, I didn't think this thing would be long like this. It's expressed within the mind. So, in our own minds, the part that is one with the galactic is the unconscious realms. The unconscious, it's where the intellectual absorb consciousness and wisdom and other things. But the unconscious is infinite. The one we use when we sleep and dream and astral project and do all that stuff, yeah, it's infinite. This part of ourself is one with the divine aspect, which is atom, which is an aspect of everything that is in creation, but express itself in terms of different levels of the consciousness of all beings that are living. You see? So only us human beings, we have the capability or the capacity to reflect the highest potential of the Creator. So within our unconscious realms, that is where all things that we create as men come from. So in the cosmic aspect, the first principle that I am giving you is the unseen, the abyss, the empty space where all things will be created. Now, in the physical body of you as an artist, you have your brain with your empty thoughts, no ideas, no focal, dololo like a children or like a stillborn or like an unborn baby in the womb. It's empty. You don't know nothing, no ideas in this faculty. There are no ideas. Now, when we transcend from the abyss of the cosmos, meaning the intellectual aspects of the cosmos, to the intellectual aspects of man, now when that thing is being expressed in the surreal realms of life, with surrealism, we call this place where all ideas or where all artists that are doing surrealism will originate their ideas in the mind. So the mind now becomes what we were taught at school as a memory box. Your empty space where every clad jazz that you know and all that wabili, it's been placed there. You put even ideas which you will not even use it. Maybe now you will use it in the future to come. So the memory box is the reflection of your mind. All your concepts that you would like to deal with them, you create, you will put their images on the memory box. Slips, IDs, photocopies, portraits, objects, all gadgets, it's one there. Because in the abyss, everything is one. This is the stage before the creation. There's no expression of an artwork which you want to create. Because where we are going into the structure on how to create an artwork, how to formulate an artwork according to how you express yourself regardless of me. You see? Give thanks. So now I am starting in this first principle. In the cosmic body is the atomic mind which creates the cosmos and created us and all other beings that still created today in the wombs and wherever, because the atom, each atom got the same mind. So in the astral realms, everything connects as one. Just like your body, you got your cells that are doing their different works, but you live as a one being. This is the same concept, but you need to rise higher in consciousness in order to grasp what I'm talking about. You see? Yeah. So in your intellectual mind, as a piece of that aspect which was created by the cosmic mind, you are a cell within that body. The cosmic mind created my eyes and all that stuff and mold my head and my beard and entered the genetic information to created me. You know, that is where all those ideas are there in that abyss to bring me forth as a complete object at the end of creation, when all things will continue. So creation is in levels. More like when you talk of a table, you can talk of a table, said no, before this table was made was a wood, but you forgot that the wood also got screws. Those screws, the metal was digged by other people in the ground. There is education for that metal to know which specific metal. And there are people who use or created the machines which will produce the screws for you to use in creating that chair, which you will find it very hard to use without using those screws. You will struggle to create that chair, or you will need to use other mediums except that screw. So you will never achieve that nice effect that you want 100% if you can achieve it via the screws. But you didn't do that. You use the wire or the roots to wire together your chair when you are created, like the ancient people who didn't know the screws and all that stuff. They were using roots to put sticks together, the entire roots together here. So this is the first space of creation, the mind. In the cosmos, the mind that created all things would put everything in the dark space, in the emptiness, the abyss, the vacuum. There's no up and down, there's no left and right, it's nothingness there. In your mind, there's no concept of you creating the next art. You don't know what art are you going to use. There's no inspiration, there's no nothing. We are looking for that thing, Yeah. So in the surrealism aspect of physicality, because surrealism is an art way, it's an art form that we express. In that aspect, we need a place or a spot or a gateway where all those ideas will come from. So different artists, they got different inspirations. Other people, their inspiration of creating art is through their families, through their loved ones and all that stuff. But for surrealist artists, it's dreams and visions, thoughts and ideas, feelings in expression, So The memory box, it's where those physical things that you can't see have been put as physical images, but it is a reflection of your mind, your stress and your thoughts and all that stuff. But you will draft it later that this I don't want, this I want, this I don't want, this. So this is the first principle of creation, the mental principle, which is the abyss in my concept. So in my concept, I said the abyss is the first principle. When you reflect the abyss, the empty space where all these things, creation has been expressed, you reflect it within your mind. Where your mind, your ideas will come and manifest. To think, oh, yeah, I must do that thing. Oh, yeah, true. Oh, someone did say this thing during that. Oh, where that thing is happening, that space, it's your unconscious realm where it's an empty space. But for you to know what is happening in the unconscious, the conscious must spy there. So I'm not even there. We will go there through time. But I'm telling you, where all those ideas are one before being brought to light is the unconscious. But in the physical aspect of creation as an artist, where would you get your inspiration? You create a memory box where all these ideas of yours, you will be put there as one. Then you will work on them later. Give thanks and praise for everything that is good to life, to you as an artist. Perfectly.